Hey guys, Marisa at kitchentablestamper.com. It kind of looks like a mess here, I know, but I'm doing an impromptu video for you. I just put together this gorgeous, kind of rustic looking Christmas card. It was Pinterest inspired, and just, I love the kind of barn feel to it, the kind of rustic vintage feel that it's got. So this is a project that we're going to make today, and it's inspired by Stampin' Up's year-end closeout. So that starts today. Year-end closeout is that time of year. I have to say that the sale is, there's 10 to 40, 50% off of some great items. The Christmas Traditions Punch Box is 40% off, and that's what we're featuring in this video. I have said before that the Christmas Traditions Punch Box is one of my favorite items, but the price point is just a little too high in my opinion, so it's not been something that I've been real comfortable promoting, even though I love the product. So I feel very conflicted about it. But it's 40% off right now while supplies last. So let's use it. This is the Christmas Traditions Punch Box. Let me show you mine. Okay, so it's this awesome tin. It really is a beautiful tin. You can repurpose this. You can use it for storage in your craft room, display it, whatever you like. The tin includes a block, Call Me Clover Stampin' Spot, Real Red Stampin' Spot, and now what's really exciting about the Christmas Traditions Punch Box is this great label punch and this 6-piece stamp set with amazing holiday greetings. So let me show you some of those greetings. We're going to work with some of them today, but the one that we used here on this card is not the one I'm going to use when I make the card for you. This says Heaven and Nature Sing, and I love this because with garden green ink and cherry cobbler ink stamped twice, you can get this great multicolor image. I just snipped out Sing from the cherry cobbler image, stamped a garden green image and popped it out, and then paper pieced the Sing back over to get that great multicolor look. Here's Have a Holly Jolly Christmas. This little greeting is included, and I just markered this one with garden green and cherry cobbler. So I used 2 markers, colored it up. That's how we're going to do today's card, with a different image. So you can either marker a multicolor or you can cut and paper piece. Here's Merry and Bright, and I paper pieced this one. So stamp it in garden green and punch it out, stamp it in cherry cobbler, and then cut out May Your Season Be and just glue it right over. The last one I want to show you, this is Sending Christmas Wishes, and I stamped it in cherry cobbler, punched it out, stamped it in garden green, and then cut out my little trees. Now this is the box. By the way, if you're not a Kitchen Table Stamper newsletter subscriber, you want to be, because this was yesterday's tutorial. You're missing stuff. Free tutorials from my newsletter if you're not subscribed. You can subscribe if you're on the blog right in the upper right hand corner. And if you're on YouTube, look in the description. I'll have a link to a sign up page, but don't keep missing out. These were yesterday's tutorial projects. Super cute. All right, so this is the card we're gonna make, and these are the supplies that you need for this card. You need your Christmas Traditions Punch Box, 40% off. I'm using Very Vintage. This is a host set. You can't buy this one, but $150 orders earn Stampin' Rewards that can be exchanged for host sets. I'm using the doily here. Of course, you can use any doily stamp you have. And then I'm using my swirly bird for the spatter. You can use any spatter you have. It's okay to substitute. But if you love the products I'm using, MarisaAlvarez.stampinup.net is where you can shop 24/7. I'm using the Painted Harvest leaf and the coordinated leaf punch. I've got my sprig punch. This is another product from the holiday catalog that's going to be available while supplies last now. Once the closeout starts, holiday catalog merchandise is going to be while supplies last. So if you love it, get it. All right, so my consumable materials for this, I have some 6x6 Wood Textures Designer Series paper. This one I cut down to 2 5/8 by 5 1/4. There's a project sheet on the blog. If you're watching on the blog, it's right under the video. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a link to this post on the blog, and the project sheet is right under the video, the embedded video. So you don't have to scribble down measurements. This is the Joyous Noel Glimmer paper. This is another item that's while supplies last. You're gonna need a piece that's 2 by 3. I just have a scrap here. This is my lovely, what's this one called? I forget. Striped burlap trim. This is in the holiday catalog and it's available while supplies last. I have 4 3/4 inches with the ends cut at an angle. I have some Whisper White. This is just about a 2x3 scrap for my stamping and punching. And then you're gonna need some garden green, about 5.5 by 2 inches for 3 leaves. And then my card base is thick Whisper White, and it is 8.5 by 5.5 and scored at 4 1/4. Get my bone folder here and put a crease in this. All right, nice clean crease. Now my Stampin' pads for this project: garden green, crumb cake, and cherry cobbler. Now that's if you're going to stamp your greeting. And if you're gonna marker your greeting, you'll want Stampin' Right markers in garden green, cherry cobbler, and for little touch-ups or mistakes, grab your blender pen. Really handy when you're markering stamps to have that blender pen. All right, I have my sprig punch over here. And this one is available while supplies last from the holiday catalog. Let's go ahead and punch out some glimmer paper sprigs. We're just gonna punch out 2 of those. Okay. Now I've got my garden green cardstock here. Let's get Stampin' Pierce mat and some ink pads. I'm gonna stamp 3 of these leaves. Garden green on garden green. Now let's get our cherry cobbler and crumb cake ink pads. We'll do some more stamping. Got my card base here and my sample so you can see where we're going with this. I'm going to ink up my doily image with cherry cobbler, and I'm going to stamp it in the bottom right corner of my card. And then for fun, I've got my spatter from Swirly Bird, and I'm going to go ahead and stamp one of those this way, and then go with the narrow way this way. And then I'm gonna stamp one of those down off the bottom of the card. Okay? Cute. All right, while we're here, let's just really quickly, we're gonna choose designer series paper, which side we wanna use. And let's go ahead and adhere this to our card base. And you want just an equal margin, left side, top and bottom. Okay, and you're going to use a strong adhesive and adhere your burlap trim at this point. Now, I am using Fast Fuse because I have some. You can use tear and tape for this, but you do want a stronger adhesive. Oh, forget it, I'm putting it on the paper. All right, then we'll just overlap the designer series paper and the cardstock. We're just kind of covering the seam there. All right, and we can slide this aside. Let's do some more stamping. Got my Whisper White, and I have the Peace and Joy greeting from the punch box. It's the only one that I haven't used yet. So we're gonna do that, and it's got words and pine branches. So I am going to go ahead and ink my pine branches. I hope my head's not in the video. With the garden green. And I find I can see a little bit better, especially the first time I'm using it, if I put it over the block on top of the Whisper White cardstock. And then I can ink up with a little bit better detail. Green one's done. I'm gonna do my words in cherry cobbler. And this is really the first time I've used this stamp. I've used the other stamps in the punch box a whole lot more. So if I'm doing this not on a video, I'm going to ink this stamp and stamp it a couple of times to kind of prime it. So, because the first one is not always perfect. So I'm gonna huff on that and then stamp. I'm hoping for the best on the very first one. Not too bad. My letters are a little, the ink pooled a little bit because it's a brand new stamp. It hasn't been primed. So I'm just going to take my Stampin' Right marker and fill in where the ink pooled a little bit and just smooth it out. As you stamp with a photopolymer stamp, the photopolymer gets primed and it actually gives you a better image every time you use it. And now the second time that you ink this up, you're gonna have some staining and it's gonna make it easier to see what you're inking too. So markering these stamps gets easier and easier as you use them. Not a bad little image, especially on a first inking. All right, so then the label from my punch box, love this guy. It's got little flat sides. You wanna center your greeting in the label, pop it out. All right, I'm gonna clear away the Stampin' Pierce mat and ink pads and let's assemble this card. Okay, so we've got a tiny bit of punching left to do here. I've got my garden green leaves, my leaf punch. Let's pop these guys out. Love me a stamp that's got a punch. So easy. All right, then I'm going to take my little Peace and Joy banner and then some multi-purpose liquid glue, and I'm going to adhere my leaves to the back of my little label. So I just put a little bit of glue on the stem and I'm going to arrange it so that one kind of pops out or peeks out the back left corner there, from the left corner, bottom left corner. We're going to get one so it peeks out from the back, kind of up from the top. And then we're going to do a third little leafy sprig and we're going to tuck that one behind so that it peeks kind of out the side. All right, so there's our little arrangement of leaves. I think I'm going to play with that guy a little bit, tuck it in a bit further. Now on the back side, we'll secure this even further with some dimensionals. So I'm going to pop one in the middle and one off here over on the leaves, one here on the leaves. I'm just spreading out to support this label equally, but also because now at this point we're going to dry fit those glimmer leaves and adhere them to the dimensionals. So I want my label to broach the white and the wood grain. So that's about my placement. And I want my glimmer sprigs to stick out the top past the leaves and the bottom past the leaves. So I'm kind of dry fitting them and then I touch down on it and pick up the sprigs. Do you see? So I've got an arrangement that I really like before I even put it down. Now I'm going to put just a couple of drops of multi-purpose liquid glue kind of at the base of my sprigs, just for a little extra security. And then I'm going to place that on my card where we auditioned. All right, guys, there's our Peace and Joy Christmas Traditions Punch Box card. And Let Heaven and Nature Sing. Here's the Holly Jolly Christmas, another one of those great greetings in that 6-piece stamp set. Notice how the adorable little label pairs up perfectly with a 1.5-inch circle punch for an awesome layer. May your season be merry and bright. And here's probably my favorite greeting. I love this Sending Christmas Wishes with the little trees on the snow hill. All right, if you've got questions about the Christmas Traditions Punch Box, the year-end closeout, if there's anything I can do to help you stay crafty, email me, Marisa at kitchentablestamper.com. And to purchase these products while supplies last, you can shop at marisaalvarez.stampinup.net. Thanks for watching.